Okay, so you are going to be a Rotary Youth Exchange student. Why did you choose to become a Rotary Youth Exchange student?
I really like Rotary. It's a service organization, so no one gets paid through this. So everyone's a volunteer, even your host families. So there's no real angle that they're working at. Whereas some other programs, like, yeah, they're getting money for hosting you. That may be the main reason they are. And with Rotary, they don't get money, so they want to host you because they want to, not because they're getting money out of it. And that's really nice. And just everything that we've gone through so far, Rotary has been amazing and helpful through all of it. They answer all my questions and they're just on top of it, always.
What country are you going to?
I'm going to Norway.
Why did you choose to go to Norway?
It's a really beautiful country. There's a lot of diversity in the landscape.
I chose Japan because back in 7th grade, my friend introduced me to K-pop and J-pop, and I got really interested into the culture, started looking more into it, and it's just drastically different than ours, and everything about it just fascinates me, and I'm really excited to see how it goes when I get there, and the language is a challenge, which I really like.
What's like one of the things that you look forward to most about Japan? Do you know?
I look forward to like all of it. It's really cool. Like no matter where I go, like if I go to Hokkaido, there's like Yukigassen, like professional snowball fighting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then sumo wrestling, shrines would be really cool, and biggest city in the world.
Why'd you choose Rotary to go?
I have been wanting to go on exchange for about 4.5 years now, and I looked at other programs such as YFU and AFS back a couple of years ago, and then I found out about Rotary on a vlog on YouTube. And found out it was really affordable, people were really nice in it, and yeah, just went with it.
So, you're going to be a Rotary Youth Exchange student. Why did you choose to be a Rotary Youth Exchange student?
Well, I first heard about the Rotary Youth Exchange when I went to Ryla the summer of 2013, and that's where I met Jonah Marks, who is a 2-time Rotary Exchange student. He was on my team, and so I learned a lot about the program through that, and I've always been interested in traveling. And so I toyed with the idea back and forth for a few years, and then this past December I was over at Gary's house and I was talking about my French final where we just got to eat French food, and he's like, well, you could still go to France. And so I was like, thought about it, and I was like, going away for a year and for like the amount of money that you have to spend through Rotary, that's a really good deal, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So.
Okay, so my name is Emma and I am from France and I live in Ottawa right now. My favorite memory, it's maybe weird for American people, but I remember the first time I went to a pep assembly at school. Like, it kind of made me realize I was in the US, and it was really like, because the school system is so different that like that moment, like, I don't know, like the cheerleaders, the band, and all of that, like, school spirit, it was kind of amazing, and I don't know, I really remember that moment. I was really happy, I guess.
How has Rotary changed you?
Like, I used like to be kind of a quiet person, but like when you go on exchange, you have to be really open to people, because even though like at first people are really like, the fact I'm French was really like cool, I guess, for people, but then you still have to be really open to them, like, and really outgoing to make friends. And you're like, I'm by myself in a country, so you have like to, I don't know, just to like take care of yourself, I guess. So it helped me a lot, like grow up, I think.
What's your name?
My name is Sylvia. I'm from Italy, and I was an exchange student in Ankeny, Iowa, and now I study at DMAC.
What was the most challenging things during your exchange? Like, what was the most life-changing?
There were 4 main moments that taught me the most during my exchange, and the first one was a particular weekend when I was at home by myself, and I was just really homesick, because in Italy you do a lot of stuff in the weekend, and here I was just all alone by myself watching Netflix. And I realized that I had not made a lot of friends yet. That was just around September, so just the beginning of my exchange. And that's when I decided that I had to get out of my comfort zone and go to people and try to make more friends. So that's what I did, and it really worked. So that was a really big lesson for me. Another moment was around Christmas, because Christmas was really tough for me. In Iowa I was snowing a lot, and I couldn't see my friends, so I was at home all the time. And all my friends back in Italy were not going to school because they had break, so I had time to call them all the time, and that made me really homesick. And I didn't know if I could get through it. I kind of started thinking that I wanted to go home, but then I decided that I could make myself make it through it, and that's when I learned the power of positive attitude. Because that's when I decided that if I really wanted to stay and finish my exchange, I only had to have positive attitude and get through it. Then another moment was when I was trying to apply for college, because my high school told me that I was not going to be able to get a high school diploma, so most colleges will not accept my enrollment. And so I was a little bit sad because I thought I was not going to be able to come for school here. But my host dad helped me talk to people at the Capitol building, and they explained me how I could do it to stay here for college. And so that's when I learned how to not give up, because I really thought that since I could not come, I should have just given up and go home for an extra year, maybe come back later, maybe not. But I really did not want to do that, so I really did not give up, and I was really perseverant in it. So at the end, it all worked out. And then the last moment was when I went to RILA, which is the Rotary Youth Leadership Award. I got to meet a lot of people that were experiencing a lot of things in their lives. Some kids that were having bad family situations, some kids that were facing depression, and that just really taught me how to treat people kindly, because everybody's going through something that you don't know about, so you should just treat everybody kindly, and that was another big lesson for me.
Alright, so I'm from Newton, Iowa, and I went to Freistadt, Austria last year as an exchange student with Rotary. It's a pretty ballin' experience. Yeah, for me it was something that I kind of thought about and planned on doing really through since my entire childhood and whatnot. My mom did an exchange, and my brother and my cousin too, so it's been a family thing for me, but it's something that I think of any of us, it's always just fit me so well, because I really love everything about the world and culture, and I don't know, anything about learning about foreign people and foreign friends, I don't know. There's something about the rest of the world that makes you fall in love with it instantly. So.
Okay, so what was one of the most life-changing experiences, and why?
For me, that was honestly kind of just my experience with my first host family, and with both really, but in particular, there was sort of this moment where I clicked with my first host family. Kind of came around. It was the night that we celebrated our American Thanksgiving, and it was I remember it because it was this perfect Christmas Eve, snowing kind of weather, and given it was Thanksgiving, in November in Austria, but I'd kind of struggled for a couple of months to actually bond with my host brother and his friends, because we're the same age and whatever, but there were just some differences, but we had just recently clicked and become, a real family, and it was cool because we made some recipes from my family back home, and from our old traditions that night together, and I shared that with them, and then I Skyped with my family, and that was in November, so at that point, that was the first time when both of our families sat down and talked over Skype together, my brothers, and then my host brother and my host parents, and I actually was able to translate for my host father, who didn't speak any English, and that was just cool, and at one point, it was just me and my host brother Toby sitting there talking to my two brothers back in America, and that was super cool, because especially with my siblings, with my brother and my mom and everyone in my family who went on exchange, I'm familiar, we have friendships, with these families that they were hosted by still to this day, and so it was really important to me that I just gotta, fall in love with my family, and actually have that family in Austria that I was gonna, forever at least belong to, so it was, that was just a really big moment, because I knew it finally worked. And